What's going on, Cab Training family? I'm Coach Jacob Capizzuto with Cab Training, and in this video I'm going to go through my acceleration workout for the day. Currently I'm running around 21.93 miles per hour, and my goal now is not only to improve my max speed but to reach my max speed faster. So if you guys want to learn how to reach your max speed faster, follow along with my workout today and take some notes, and let's get better today. Before we jump into it, if you guys want to become better athletes and better football players, hit that subscribe button because that's what all my videos are about. Let's dive into this workout right now and let's build our acceleration. So the first thing we have to do is a dynamic warm-up, and I just have a time-lapse video of the warm-up. If you guys want to see the full warm-up, you can slow down the playback speed, but we're just going through our dynamic stretching. We're going through some bouncy movement, getting ourselves ready to produce force. Now let's go into the actual exercises. To finish our warm-up, we're going to do a 4-cone sprint ladder. And basically what we're going to be doing is we're mapping out the first 4 steps of our sprint. During the acceleration drive phase, it starts out with the first couple steps because those first 2 steps account for 40% of our max speed. So if we can master those, we can really improve our max speed overall. If we have really crappy first couple steps, we're not going to have the top speed that we're aiming for. So what you're going to do is, if you're a full-size adult, you're going to mark off the first cone 3 feet away from your starting line. Then you're going to mark off each cone about a foot or 3/4 of a foot away from each other. That way each step will be a little bit longer than the next. If you're a youth athlete, I would mark the first step about 2 feet away from your starting line. But all we're gonna do here is we're gonna throw those shoulders forward. We're gonna push off with a 2-foot push off the line, and we're looking to attack that foot back at each cone. We're not trying to reach for each cone, because if you're reaching, you're actually applying a braking force and you're actually slowing yourself down. So you really should be aiming for attacking that foot backwards, hitting back at each cone, so you guys can build acceleration and push the ground away. The next exercise is bounding, and those of you who train with me in person know that this exercise is one of my favorites. And the main purpose of bounding is to produce force. We're trying to float and pose in midair, and we're trying to project ourselves forward and up, because the more we can spring off the ground forward and up, the more force we can put into the ground. It's basically saying there's a correlation between jumping and running, and the better you jump, the better you spring off the ground, the better you're gonna run and the faster you're gonna run. So with bounding, I want you guys to exaggerate the arms, exaggerate the knee drive, pose in midair, and go for 20 yards. Be sure to stay to the very end of this video, because I'm going to be outlining the entire workout, sets, reps, rest time, so you guys can maximize your acceleration. So don't forget to stay tuned to the very end so you can get the full explanation of the workout from me. The next exercise we've got is the triple switch. And what we're really dealing with the triple switch is stability and quick twitch. We need to be balanced on our ankles, because if we don't have that stability in our ankles and our outer hips, we're not going to be able to produce the maximal amount of force that we want to. And then we also want to be quick twitch, because that exchange of our legs in the starting phase of that acceleration is super, super important. We have to be violent. We have to switch our foot and stab our foot into the ground as fast and as violently as we can to produce the most force that we possibly can, so we can accelerate maximally. And so with this one, you're gonna go a couple sets of 10 yards, making sure that you're violent into the ground and under control. Make sure between each triple switch that you do, pause for about a second and a half, so you guys can prove to yourself, and if you have a coach nearby or a teammate nearby, that you guys can balance and hold yourself in that position. Now comes the fun part. We're gonna go and start producing force and really start translating our explosiveness into our acceleration. And we're gonna do that using a triple broad jump. Professional athletes, professional football players can triple broad jump over 30 feet. And so if you want to have an explosive start to your sprint, you've got to improve your triple broad jump. Broad jumps are important, but if you can produce rapidly 3 times in a row, that's going to really translate to those first 3 steps of your sprint. And therefore, you're going to reach max speed faster and improve your max speed. And so with the triple broad jump, we are jumping off the ground, and I like to say floor is lava here. You are not resting in between each jump. you are springing off the ground after each jump and maximally jumping as far as you can and making sure that you guys get enough air time as well. You want to get some air time because you want to fly through the air and maximize your distance here. This is all out. And make sure you guys, again, at the very end of this video, I'm going to show you guys how much rest you should take between each rep of this, but you want to go for it max effort every single time. Now for the meat and potatoes of the workout, we've got our sled sprints, and this is where you get the most bang for your buck with this training session. What you're gonna do is you're gonna take a sled. My sled weighs about 32 pounds. And then since my body weight is around 220, I put around almost half my body weight on there. So what I do is I do 245s on there. So the overall weight is about 120 pounds, just a little bit over 50%. But what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be pulling that sled, and we're doing short sled sprints here. I'm talking 10 yards, explosive, fast legs. What you don't want to do when you're doing the sled sprints is you don't want to act like you're hiking up a mountain. When people are hiking up a mountain, they're slowly churning their legs and pushing the earth away. No, we want to kick into the ground, and we want to push the ground hard but fast, and we want those legs to be moving like we're sprinting full speed. Yes, you know that there's weight on your back, but you want to run and pull that weight and get from point A to point B as fast as you possibly can. All right, so let me show you guys how we're gonna put this all together into a workout. So you're gonna start out with the dynamic warm-up. Then you're gonna go into the 4-cone sprint ladders, and you're gonna do 8 reps of those. And you could vary the intensity of those as you continue to get warmed up. The first 4 or so can be about half speed, just hitting back at the cone. And then the last 4 can be where you're really going full speed and really ramping up the intensity. The rest time for the 4-cone sprint ladder, I would say about 45 seconds to a minute in between each sprint. If you're going less intense for those first 4, I would say about 25-30 seconds in between sprints, but for those more intense reps, 45 seconds to a minute. Then from there, you can go into the triple switches, and you could do 3 or 4 sets of 10 to 15 yards of these. The rest time for those would be about 30 seconds in between each one. Those aren't super intense, but then after that, you'll go into bounding. With the bounding, it's 4 sets of 20 yards, and in between sets of that, I would look for a little bit more time, about 45 seconds to a minute rest in between each set for bounding. Next, you'll go to the triple broad jump, and here I'm looking for 5 reps of triple broad jumps, so 15 broad jumps total. And in between sets of those triple broad jumps, I'm looking at a minute and a half at least in between. And you might think, oh, I'm only jumping, I shouldn't need a lot of rest. You do, because you're using explosive power each time you're broad jumping. So make sure you maximize your rest here. Minute and a half of rest, 5 sets. Then finally, those sled sprints, we're looking at 8 to 10 of those sled sprints, 10 yards only. And in between sprints, we're looking at a minute 15 rest in between each one. We want to make sure those legs are fresh so you guys can get the highest quality reps. And so rest is super important. This workout should take you 30 to 45 minutes only, and you will improve your acceleration. Feel free to check out the link in my bio to look at the sled that I own, as well as the plates that I own, and any other equipment that I use on this channel. You guys can check out the link to my Amazon storefront. But with that, that's gonna do it for this video, guys. If you guys liked this video, hit that like button. And if you feel it's gonna improve your acceleration, also hit that like button. And if you wanna watch more of my videos and look to improve more of your skills, I have tons of videos, and I would highly suggest subscribing to Cab Training for all of your needs as an athlete and football player. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys want to see daily content from me, I have a TikTok page and an Instagram page. Just search up Cab Training. And with that, let's get better today.